All right, great. We are live. So good morning, everyone. This is Ashley Vaquero with the Office of Charter Schools. We are here for a special called CSAB meeting to consider West Triangle High School's amendment request. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We do have a quorum established, and we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance if someone wants to lead that.
This is Bruce.
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. The ethics statement of the Charter School Advisory Board, the mission statement of the Charter School Advisory Board. The Charter School Advisory Board works to ensure the existence of high-quality charter schools in North Carolina. The ethics statement, board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of the advisory board. Does any member of the advisory board know of any conflict of interest or appearance of conflict of interest coming before us at this meeting? If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in the discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. Do we have to vote on do we have to vote on the agenda?
That'd be great.
Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda?
This is Bruce. Moves that we accept the agenda or approve it.
Bruce will second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Ashley, you want to?
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and present it. If you can just mute until we're ready to discuss and vote, that would be great. And I have online, just for the record, Bartley Danielson, Bruce Friend, Cheryl Turner, Dave Machado, Eric Sanchez, Hilda Parlay, Jamie Falconberry, John Eldridge, and Shelley Shope. And that's it. So we've got a quorum of C7 members. All right. Can you guys see this? Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we have an amendment request from West Triangle High School for, most of you probably remember this application. It was a replication application. They are currently in the process to delay. So they were originally set to open this upcoming fall. Our office is in the process of approving a delay, which will bring them to a 2024 opening. Their request is, but this request is separate from the delay. Our office can approve the delay. So this request is to change the managing entity, so their nonprofit, from the Center for Contemporary Sciences to Triangle Schools, North Carolina. The background on this is that the Contemporary Sciences Board, CSC, submitted their charter application in 2021 for West Triangle. They were a replication of Research Triangle High School. And replications are, the way replications work in North Carolina is that they are distinct LEAs, and so they cannot commingle funds. So you can replicate the model of a school, but you are essentially creating a completely separate and distinct LEA or school. An issue arose during the planning process for this school, and it arose from bond documentation. In 2015, Research Triangle High School, so the replicating school that is managed by the same nonprofit, entered into a bond for its current facility. The bond had a covenant that stated all revenues received by CSC must be pledged to Research Triangle High School. So essentially, this nonprofit can only basically receive funds for Research Triangle High School, which is where this issue arose. Because the charter for Research Triangle belongs to the same nonprofit that applied for for West Triangle, this issue was, came up in planning and wasn't known during the application process. West Triangle, so the school we're talking about, the planning year school, cannot be operated by the same nonprofit because all of the funds coming to that nonprofit must be pledged to Research Triangle High School. The solution for this problem is to change the managing entity, the nonprofit, into a new one to govern West Triangle High School. The new nonprofit is going to be called Triangle Schools North Carolina, or is called Triangle Schools North Carolina. It received unanimous board approval from the board, the CSC board. They incorporated in North Carolina in October of this year, and they have submitted their federal 501c3 application. And they will utilize experienced Research Triangle board members to manage this new entity. The name and the composition of the nonprofit are the only proposed changes. So nothing else from the application that was approved by this board and by state board for West Triangle High School will be changing, aside from the name of the nonprofit and the composition of the nonprofit. The new managing entity, so Triangle Schools North Carolina, will be composed of 5 board members from the original board and the West Triangle Replication Committee. The new board will utilize the same governance practices used by Research Triangle High School and be led by experienced Research Triangle High School board members. During this process of kind of solving this issue with the bond documentation, the board came up with selection criteria that would be used to create this new nonprofit board. They wanted experience as a board member during the Research Triangle startup years. They wanted to look at the tenure at Research Triangle High School so that they knew that they were getting experienced board members. And then also parent status. So parents of Research Triangle High School students were not joining, whereas prospective West Triangle High School parents that would be more that would be more closer to the school would be joining. So this takes a look at the original board members that were on this combined board, CSC, and what we now have for the Research Triangle High School board and for the West Triangle High School board. And for this new governing entity, you will see some familiar names. Alex Quigley will be the board chair for this new entity. We have Sandra R. Cobbler, who is a former Research Triangle board chair, has 5 years of experience. Gary Rogers, also a former chair for Research Triangle High School, has 7 years experience. And then 2 parents from the replication committee. So this is, I was trying to make this, hopefully that made sense, but we're going to open it up to questions now. Again, I think the really important thing to understand is that nothing else in this application is changing other than the composition of the board, which you can see here, and the nonprofit itself, the name of it, and creating this new nonprofit. And right now we'll open it up for questions. Just unmute yourself if you have a question, and either myself or Joey Webb, who is on the phone representing West Triangle High School, will be able to answer.
Ashley, I'm a little confused. The issue is that the bond verbiage is a problem, but I don't see them changing the bond. So I'm a little confused about how changing the entity fixes the problem with the bond.
Well, the bond created a problem for the actual entity. They could have changed the bond, but that would have taken probably up to 2 years. So this way, you'll have the board that's over Research Triangle High School that is impacted by that bond will continue to be the only school that is receiving assets for that nonprofit. By creating this new nonprofit, they wouldn't be associated with the nonprofit for Research Triangle High School, and so there's no issues basically with the funds going to one nonprofit or any assets going to one nonprofit, because now they're completely separated, and there just couldn't be an issue with the bond like there could have been if they were under one nonprofit.
So are there these are two separate nonprofits now?
Correct. Well, that's what they're requesting.
Ashley, this is Bruce, a friend. So is it safe to assume then that the new board for WTHS will have to go out and secure their own bond financing? Is that a fair assumption?
Yes, I believe so. And I don't know if Joey, if you have any more information on that, but they will be going out and doing the kind of the financial back end for West Triangle.
Okay. And same question we ask all board members, I think. Can we assume or can we get clarification that none of the 5 board members that now make up the board that will oversee WTHS, none of them work for the school or have any financial relationship to the school?
Joey, can you confirm that for me?
Yes, that's correct.
And Joey, can you confirm the first question about, so now this new board will have to go out and secure its own bond financing, whether it's through a bond or however they're going to secure financing that's specific just for the new school, correct?
That is correct. And that's the second step or the second challenge to overcome. The first one is that all funds, if CSC was the managing entity of WTHS and was receiving funds on behalf of WTHS, they would still, by the covenants, have to be pledged to RTHS. So we can now go, if this change is approved, we can now go seek a bond for a facility.
Got it. Thank you.
So Ashley, the amendment we are agreeing to allows them to have 2 separate entities because replication required that they be in the same one. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Okay.
Ashley, this is Dave. Can you confirm that OCS has received the proper documentation? I'm sure it has, but if you can confirm that, and there's minutes from RTHS verifying that this is what they voted on?
Correct. Yes, we have all the paperwork, and this board has been working with our office and with their own legal counsel for months now to try to kind of problem solve this situation so that they can get a facility and get this high school up and running. And this was what to everyone seemed like the route that was going to be the quickest because, as we said, the bond documentation change would have been difficult and could have taken up to 2 years.
Actually, this is Hilda. Excuse my voice. Does this chart mean that Alex, Sandra, and Gary will serve on both boards?
I believe so. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thanks.
Are we ready for a motion? Hearing no further questions, are we ready for a motion?
Yeah, this is Bruce. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve this recommended change to the nonprofit for WTHS.
I'll second that. This is John.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just thank you to Ashley. What I thought was going to be a very complicated description. I appreciate the slide deck. It helped out quite a bit.
It did.
I agree because I didn't understand it in the words at all.
Right. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome, and thanks to Joey and his team for helping out.
Yes.
All right. Hearing no more questions, Ashley, would you take a roll call, please?
Yep. Bruce Friend.
Aye.
Dave Machado.
Aye.
Kelly Shope.
Aye.
Cheryl Turner.
Aye.
Bartley Danielson.
Aye.
John Eldridge.
Aye.
Hilda Parlay.
Approved.
Eric Sanchez.
Approved.
Rita Hare. I see her on there. Oh, you're muted. If you want it, you can vote in the chat if you want, Rita. Okay, I don't see Rita's, but I'll get back to her. And aye, she got an aye. Okay, so it passes unanimously. And this, we did get it on the state board agenda for January, so we will take it to state board in the first week of January, and then we will should have a final approval in February, Joey, and we'll be in touch with you guys to move forward with that. Everyone have a great holiday season and New Year. We will see you guys back January 9th, I think. But I'm going to send out an update today for everyone. And then Bruce is going to be attending state board with me on January 4th. So get ready for the fun, Bruce. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Did we make a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn?
Oh,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Aye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.